Hey everyone, what do you get when you have two people who are stuck together for a weekend going to a wedding? You get a romantic comedy by the name of Destination Wedding. You want to go through the premise of Destination Wedding?
So basically, it's two people who know each other apparently. I don't know their story too much.
Lindsay is being sent there because the person who's getting married, she was his former fiance, and they were gonna get married before he got cold feet, and 5 weeks before the wedding he backed out. Then we have
Keanu Reeves
as Frank, who's there because the person Lindsay, the female star of the movie, her ex-fiance happens to be his brother. So they go to this wedding, they have a terrible time, they don't want to meet anyone, they're stuck together by coincidences, and from that they form a romance, and
it's kind of weird.
This is a very strange movie because of the simple fact that literally every scene is just Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, who plays Lindsay. Keanu Reeves plays Frank. It's just them talking endlessly. And it's not terrible. It's actually kind of funny. A lot of the things that they say. Alright, let's do the good. This movie actually is funny. There's a lot of the interactions, and this movie has to be smart, quippy, and fast because all it is literally this: people in a two-shot going back and forth talking. That's all this movie is. Does anyone really have a line in the movie?
No.
It's literally Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder going from scene to scene to scene and just commenting on everything around them, their ideas, their hopes, their dreams, commenting on relationships and things like that. That's all this movie is. Keanu Reeves as Frank, he plays the cynic. He's the one who doesn't, he has the line in the trailer that says, "I believe there's no one for anyone." And all his lines are actually really good. Like, he's really funny in this movie. Just using his dry humor and his deadpan delivery. And with that damn sound effect. Yeah, that's a plot point in the movie. Apparently, what did he say? He had dry throat?
I guess.
Yeah, so throughout, every once in a while in the movie he'll do. Yeah, and he's very much the cynic of the two people. He looks at relationships and realizes that it's all BS. It's almost impossible to find someone. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of related to his character. Winona's character as Lindsay, she is the hopeless optimist. She's really only there because, as Keanu said in the movie, his brother was trying to rub it in her face that he's finally getting married. Since he, called off their marriage. And she plays this interesting, overly optimistic character who is just, at the same time she's annoyed by Keanu's character, but at the same time, like, she enjoys it. Yeah. Because it's kind of the movie where it's the two polar opposites and somehow they get together. So yeah, they have a lot of banter. there's a sex scene where it's literally if you can't stand two people just talking, this movie is gonna annoy the hell out of you. Cause there's a sex scene about halfway through the movie, and they still talk. This movie is endless chatter. I'm not gonna lie, some of it is funny once again. But every once in a while, the only breaks you really get is when they move from scene to scene. And they play that damn theme song, which I hate. It's literally, the movie is Keanu and Winona show up in a airport. You get a shot of the countryside. They're at the hotel. You get a shot of the hotel, the dinner, shot of the outside, and that's pretty much all the movie. You want to say anything good about it?
It was funny.
Yeah, between the two polar opposites, they played really well off each other, and well, no surprising, both actors are really charismatic and charming, and they play their characters really well. You want to start with the bad, or do you want me to do it?
You go.
All right. This movie's horribly shot. Holy shit. This is the laziest shooting I've seen in a movie in fucking forever. When I mean lazy, literally, this is the whole movie. It's two people talking across from each other. There's no close-ups when they're talking. You notice that?
Yeah.
It's almost like the director was afraid to get closer to the characters. Literally, you were looking at one shot for minutes at a time. Every once in a while, they'll go to a shot from this angle or from this angle. But that's it. It was just literally, let me put these two characters in frame, have them talk, and shoot. If someone would have told me this movie was done in the same amount of time that it took Tyler Perry to do Boo Medea's Halloween, I wouldn't be shocked. The only difference is these guys constantly talk. So it kind of looks impressive that Keanu and Winona could have all this verbal exchange with minimal cuts. There are no other characters in the movie.
Yeah. But
Literally none. It's just two people. Well, this could be seen as a bad thing. They don't fucking stop talking. If you are a person who's not into the dialogue and you're not enjoying the verbal changes between the two, you're not gonna like this movie at all. The sex scene is probably somebody said it's the most awkward sex scene ever, but then again, I've seen The Room, and that one is far worse than it. The sex scene in this movie is actually kind of interesting because I've never heard two people interact so much while the act of intercourse and don't talk about intercourse. It's fucking bizarre.
I just heard.
But I know, God damn it. But at the same time, there were some jokes in it. There's a part where they're having sex in a field, and he goes, "Crabs!" And she looks at him and goes, "You have crabs?" It's like, "No, those are crabs." And then they start talking about whatever looks like. There's a pretty funny scene with the panther, or whatever the hell
I don't remember what it was.
No one knows what it was, and they constantly argue about it. It was in the trailer, whether they're mountain lion, cougar, whatnot. But that was a pretty funny exchange. There's a funny bedroom scene where Keanu starts riffing on Winona's her sleepwear. He was. What did he say? He goes, even Superman can't see through that.
Oh yeah.
It's. I mean, it was funny, but yeah, this. It's sad. The director, the guy who wrote this, obviously didn't write anything for space, because there's endless talking, and the only time they stop talking is for, cutaways of scenery, and that's it. And then you just go to the next scene where they start talking some more. You want to say anything bad about the movie?
There's nothing bad about the movie. Well, other than the shots and stuff. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, strangely, I wasn't bored. The movie's not long. It's only an hour and 30 minutes. No, it's less than that. It's an hour and 25 minutes. We saw it with kind of an older crowd.
Yeah.
And a lot of them we laughed a lot in the movie, I'm
Half
not
of
gonna
the
lie.
people in that theater were probably 60 and up.
I don't think that old.
They were older.
Yeah, there was a lot of old people in there. But they laughed. I thought it was funny. It's not a perfect movie. I can see it. It's at 42% now on Rotten Tomatoes. As far as I saw, one criticism of the movie is the characters were unlikable, and I don't think they were unlikable. I like both of them a lot, because if I didn't, you'd hate this movie, because it's only those two people. It's not a great shot movie. It's not really a compelling movie. It's just two people riffing back and forth at each other and finding the similarities in their differences. So that was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed this movie. You want to rate it?
I'll give it a 5.7.
All right, I'm a little bit higher than you. I go 6.3. It was funny. I laughed. It's a comedy. It was more interesting than Crazy Rich Asians, with the limited amount of shots that they took in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't wait for the end of the year when we do worst movies of the year. But yeah, Destination Wedding is only showing in 2 theaters in New York.
which sucks.
Yeah, it's not going to get a big release. I can see this being sent straight to video on demand in about a month, or even less than that. If you have a chance, I would probably tell you wait for video on demand if you don't want to see just two people like going back and forth at each other's throat. There are laughs to be had though. So that's all I have to say. Any other thoughts on Destination Wedding? That's all for now. Another time.
Peace.